Alright, hello YouTube. This evening we're going to be doing a 1x conversion on a Shimano M523 crankset. I'm doing this video because as I was doing my research to try to do this 1x conversion, I couldn't really find a whole lot out there and I didn't really know what to do. And so after like hours of research, I finally figured out what chainring I needed to do it, and saw enough videos about how to do it that I'm going to attempt to do the conversion right now. It's going to be a 1x10 conversion on a Motobecane Fantom DS Comp 2018 version. So yeah, let's get to it.
Okay, so first thing is the chainring itself. After doing all my research, I realized I needed to get a chainring that was a 96 BCD, which is the length in like millimeters between all the bolts. And for my tooth option, my current middle gear on my 3x for the M523 is a 30 tooth. So this should just be straight up match what my middle gear is. I haven't seen anything that is 28 tooth or 32 tooth for this geometry and this BCD length. You need to be careful when you're doing chain rings. For the geometry, there's a lot out there that are for the Shimano asymmetric geometry, so the bolts are not evenly spaced. But as you'll see on the bike, it needs to be evenly spaced. It needs to be symmetrical geometry. You could find this one. This is a Black Spire chainring. I got it from Chain Reaction, but Jensen also sells it. I think it's about 40 bucks or so. If you look on the bike, it should work for any type of crankset that looks like this. It's a 3x, symmetrical, obviously, you can tell. And so that's the chainring you need. Let's start to disassemble this thing. Okay, so you'll notice I don't have any special tools or a bike stand, but I think we're going to be okay. I think we're going to be able to take this apart. First, we have to start by disassembling the arms from the crank, and then we're going to pull that out, and then we'll have to disassemble each one of the chain rings in the 3x. So let's start with the arms. You can use an Allen wrench, because these are Allen bolts back here. Okay. So for this next step, you have to take this little piece off. There's a special tool that you can buy that'll do that, but I found that it's not very tight. So what you can do is you can take a set of pliers, stick it in there, use the pliers, spread them out just like that on two of the teeth, and you should be able to, boom, turn it by hand. And once you get it loose enough and you get it to poke out, put the pliers down and you can turn it by hand. Okay. Ooh, there's also a tab in here that I think I'm going to need to take out. Alright. Okay. Alright. We got one off. Alright, so we had to improvise a little bit getting the chain off, but we got the chain off. I needed to Go dig around for some pliers, leave that master link out. Get that out the way. Got the derailleur off. We'll deal with the cable later. Alright. So now, should be able to take this rubber mallet right here and knock out the crank. Alright, so we got this disassembled. Now we need to take all these rings off. And so we shall. Alright. Okay, so we've got this thing totally disassembled now. That's the middle right there. That's the big one that was furthest to the outside of the frame. And that's the small one. Things to watch out for, obviously, the Loctite. Loctite made getting some of those out pretty difficult, which is why we had to use a hammer. So now we're going to take this new chainring. It's a narrow wide. You can't really see it, but basically some of the teeth are wider and some of the teeth are narrow. Hence, narrow wide. Got these new bolts. You can pick these up for about $2. Also from Chain Reaction. I'm sure Jensen has something similar. These are shorter bolts because we only have this one chain ring. It's hard to tell from the video, but these older bolts were pretty long because it was holding this one and this one together. So now we've got these new and improved shorter bolts. I guess we're gonna see how they work once we get this mounted on. So basically, got the spider here. Whoop, here. Sorry, I don't have a cameraman. Bear with me. Spider. So what we're not going to do is go on the outside. We're going to go around the back. We're going to mount this way. You can see all the holes line up. Whoop, around the back right here. All the holes line up. That is fantastic. That is wonderful and exactly what we need. Alright, so let's go ahead and put it on. Cameraman now, so that makes things easier. I had to go out to the garage and find some washers But yeah, this is like super rigged. Maybe I'll get some real washers in the future to clean it up. But we're on, we're tight. We're gonna try to throw this all back together and see what happens. So we do this the same way we took it off. Ooh, look at that. Do that. Here. Oh wait, aren't pedals supposed to be like opposite of each other?
Yep.
Oh Lord. Alright, let's go vertical, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
That's probably right. Okay. Now we need this thing. Oh shit, I don't remember which way this went. Oh, I must go like that because that's the way it fits. And put this guy out here. This is nasty shit. Look how much cleaner it looks without the derailleur on it. Thank you, sir. That's probably good. Put these guys back in. And now we gotta do this thing with the chain. Alright, we're almost done. We gotta take the shifter off for that nice clean look. And looks like it's gonna be this guy. And then we'll be done. I didn't have to make any adjustments so far because this is a 30 tooth chain ring and it is about the same size as the middle ring that we took off. So we had to cut for the chain because the chain was kind of a pain. If you don't know how to take a chain off, look up a video about how to remove a master link. We got the chain back on, we cycled through all the gears and it was flawless. So we're gonna take this off, then we'll do some riding tests next week to make sure that everything is good to go. But that was pretty easy for having never done that before ever in my entire life. How does this come off? Alright, so for this we had to take the grip off so we could get the shifter off, hence the gloves. But we got that, we did that, it worked well. So it's looking real clean on the bars, no more derailleur or any sort of stuff down here. Everything's looking good on this end. Overall, not too hard of a project. I just did that in a matter of a couple hours, and that was not knowing like really anything about how to do it. Yeah, that's how you do it.